Okay, now let us proceed now for the time rates. Okay, the derivative of a function is identical with the rate of change. This application tackles another rate of change, but this time with respect to time. Okay, if a variable x is a function of t, the time rate of change of x with respect to t is given by, we have dx over dt. That is the derivative of x with respect to time. That is the time rate of change of x with respect to t. Now, we have the illustration of derivative with respect to time t. Number 1. Okay, if the given is y equal to x squared, okay, the derivative of y with respect to time is equal to 2x dx over dt. Okay. Number 2, x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Okay, therefore, this one is equal to 2x dx over dt. Maybe some of you are questioning why is it with respect to t. Remember that this one is the time rate of change. Time rate of change. Kaya with respect to time. Plus 2y, derivative of y with respect to time, equal to 0. Still, r here is constant. And the derivative of constant is equal to 0. Now, number 3, the volume is equal now to length times width multiplied by the height. Okay, in getting for the derivative of the volume with respect to time, that is equal to length times the width, derivative of height with respect to t, plus length times the height, derivative of the width with respect to time, plus width times the height, derivative of the length with respect to time. Then, what if the given is x over y minus 1 equal to y over 3? Okay, we have 3 derivative of x with respect to t is equal to 2y derivative of y with respect to t minus derivative of y with respect to t. Okay, how come? Kasi you have 3x cross multiply. You have 3x equal to y times y minus 1. Okay, therefore this one is 3x equal to y squared minus y. Okay, next. Number 5. Volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Again, we have the derivative of volume with respect to time is equal to 4/3 pi. Then you have 3r squared, derivative of r with respect to time. This one, under this one, the volume is the dependent variable and r is the independent variable. Okay, for number 6, we have d squared is equal to 5 minus 2t squared plus 2t squared. Okay, getting the derivative to d, derivative of d with respect to time is equal to 2 times 5 minus 5 minus 2t, and the derivative is negative 2 plus 2 times 2t times 2. Okay, therefore this one is equal to 2d, derivative of d with respect to t is equal to negative 10, 5 minus 2t plus 4 times 2t. Okay, for number 7, Okay, number 7. What if the given is S is equal to square root of 36 minus plus 10t squared. Okay, again, we have the derivative of S with respect to time is equal to 1 over 2 square root of 36 plus 10t squared times 20t. Okay, if you're going to simplify this one, that one is equal to S, quantity 36 plus 10t squared raised to 1/2. Then get the derivative. You will come up with 1 over the 2 square root of 36 plus 10t squared times 20t. Number 8. The volume is equal to pi r squared h. Okay. R is constant here. The dependent variable is the volume and height is the independent variable. We have the volume, derivative of volume with respect to time is equal to pi r squared, derivative of h with respect to time with the condition that r is constant in a cylinder. Now, let us try to solve a problem under the time rate. Okay, example 1. Water flows into a vertical cylindrical tank at the rate of 30 cubic feet per minute if the radius of the tank is 5 feet, how fast is the surface rising? Okay, remember we have a vertical cylindrical tank. Okay. Remember, this one is cylindrical tank. And the rate is, therefore that is the derivative of volume with respect to time is equal to 30 cubic feet per minute. Then the requirement is the derivative of the height with respect to time. Okay. The formula for this one, the volume is equal to pi r squared h. And getting the derivative of the volume with respect to time, that is equal to, we have pi, and the radius is 5 feet. Therefore, that is 5 feet squared. And then we have the derivative of h with respect to time. Remember that the derivative of volume with respect to time is given, which is equivalent to 30. 30 is equal to 5 squared, that is 25 pi, derivative of h. With respect to time, we have derivative of h with respect to time is equal to 30 over 25 pi. And the unit we have 30, that is, the unit for this one is cubic feet per minute, while your 25 is in feet squared. Therefore, we have the derivative of h with respect to time. We have 30 over 25, that is 30 over 25, that is equal to 6 over 5 pi feet per minute. Now, for the next example, at example 2, water is flowing into a conical reservoir with 2 feet deep and 10 feet across the top at the rate of 15 cubic feet per minute. Find how fast the surface is rising when the water is 8 feet deep. And this one is from the book of differential calculus. By Mateo and Imas Jr. Okay, for the figure of this problem, we have, you cannot solve this unless given yung nagkulang po siya. Okay, this one is the given figure for this problem. Okay, I'm going to solve this one. Okay, water is flowing into a conical reservoir 2 feet deep and 10 feet across the top at the rate of 15 cubic feet per minute. Find how fast the surface is rising when the water is 8 feet deep.
Miss,
Okay, yes.
yung pong nakalagay po sa ano ay to.
Okay. Now, water is flowing into a conical reservoir 20 feet deep and 10 feet across the top at the rate of 15 cubic feet per minute. Find how fast the surface is rising when the water is 8 feet deep. Remember that your 8 feet is the height, and then the given 10 feet is the diameter, therefore the radius is 5 feet. Given is the 20 feet deep for the reservoir using the proportionality R over H is equal to 5 over 20. Or radius is equal to 1/4 H. And the formula for the volume is equal to 1/3 pi R squared H. Okay, where R now is equal to H over 4. If the formula is, the volume is 1/3 pi R squared H, and R is equal to 1/4 H. Then we have the volume is equal to 1/3 pi H over 4 squared multiplied by H, that is equal to pi over 3 H cube over 16. Kasi 4 squared ay 4 times 4 is 16. Plus H squared times H is H cube. Okay, then getting the derivative, if the volume is equal to pi over 3 H cube over 16, the derivative of the volume with respect to time is equal to pi over 48. Kasi 3 times 16 is 48. Then get the derivative, you have 3h squared, derivative of h with respect to time. Okay, therefore, we have, thus when h is equal to 8 feet, and dv, derivative of b with respect to time, is equal to dv over dt pala. Your dv over dt is equal to this one, 15. 15 cubic feet per minute. Therefore, we have 15 using the formula dv over dt, that is 15, is equal to pi over 48. 3 times, we have your h squared, that is 864. 64 dh over dt. dh over dt is equal to, we have 15 times 48, 15 times 48 divided by 3 times 64 pi, 364 pi. Okay, therefore this one is derivative of h over dt is equal to 15 over 4 pi feet per minute. Therefore, the derivative of h with respect to time is equal to 15 over 4 pi feet per minute. Okay, now under the velocity and acceleration, remember that the velocity is under the vector quantities, quantities with both magnitude and direction. Unlike the speed is under the scalar quantity, quantity with magnitude only. And the motion of a particle P moves along the straight line is completely described by the equation S of S is equal to function of T, where t is greater than or equal to 0 is the time and s is the distance. Okay, always remember there's a big difference between the distance and the displacement. The distance is under the scalar quantity, while the displacement is under the vector quantities. Okay, we have S is the distance of P from a fixed point in its path, while the velocity v of t of P at time t is v of t, which is equal to s prime t. The acceleration a of t of P at time t is a of t equal to b prime t, or equal to s double prime of t. Okay, therefore for the velocity, we have velocity is equal to the derivative of the distance with respect to time. If v is greater than 0, p is moving in the direction of increasing x. If b is less than 0, p is moving in the direction of decreasing x. If b is equal to 0, p is instantaneously at next. Now, the acceleration of p at time t is a is equal to derivative of the volume with respect to time. Or that is the second derivative of s with respect to time. Then, if a is greater than 0, v is increasing. If a is less than 0, v is decreasing. Then, if v and a have the same sign, the speed of p is increasing. If b and a have opposite signs, the speed of p is decreasing. Example 1. A body moves along a straight line according to the equation S is equal to T cubed minus T. Determine the velocity and acceleration at the end of 2 seconds. Okay. Now, we have the formula S is equal to T cubed minus T. First, get the derivative of, remember that the velocity is equal to the derivative of S with respect to time. Therefore, get the derivative of this one. You have ds over dt, that is equal to 3t squared minus 1. When t is equal to 2 seconds, then we have v is equal to 3 times 2 squared minus 1. The velocity is equal to 11 feet per second. So this is the velocity. While the acceleration is equal to the derivative of volume with respect to time. Remember that the formula for the volume is 3t squared. The equation is 3t squared minus 1. Get the derivative of this one, you have 6t. Then, if that is 6t, when t is equal to 2 seconds, therefore the acceleration is equal to 6 times 2. Therefore, that is equal to 12 feet per second squared. And the unit for the acceleration is feet per second squared. This one is the final answer. Okay. Now, again, a body moves along a straight line according to the equation S is equal to t cubed minus t. This one is the equation for the distance. Determine the velocity and acceleration at the end of 2 seconds. Okay, given equation, we have S is equal to t cubed minus t, where the velocity is equal to ds over dt. Get the derivative, you have 3t squared using the power formula minus 1. And the velocity is equal to 3 times 2 squared when t is equal to 2 seconds. Therefore, you have to substitute the value of your t here. You have 3 times 2 squared minus 1. Therefore, the velocity is equal to 11 feet per second. Now, for the acceleration, that is equal to the derivative of velocity per unit time is equal to 6 times t. Then substitute again where t is equal to 2 seconds. A is equal to 6 times 2, which is equal to 12 feet per second squared. Sorry for that. This one is the velocity, not the volume. Okay, now, for the projectile, next example, okay, we have, okay, remember we have the formula under the UAM, which is the uniformly accelerated motion. Your S is equal to V bar multiplied by the time, where V bar, that is the average velocity, where V bar is equal to V final velocity plus the initial velocity over 2. And another formula we have, the acceleration is equal to final velocity minus the initial velocity over the time. Then, for the time, we have the time is equal to V minus V sub O over T. Then, we have another formula. We have S, acceleration. S is equal to VOT plus 1/2 AT squared, where S is the distance, initial velocity, time, acceleration, time. Then we have 2AS is equal to V squared minus V sub O squared. V sub O squared. These are the formula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The original formula are these three, but using this formula, you can derive for the two formulas. The two formulas are derived from the three formulas. Kaya yung sign dito, you have the acceleration is positive. If the value of the acceleration is negative, it is not called an acceleration. Instead, that is deceleration. Deceleration kapag nag-negative po to. Okay, let us try to solve this one. Okay, madi-discuss po nyo to sa P6. Pagdating sa P6, kung paano na-derive itong dalawang formula. Galing yan po sa tatlong formulas. Okay, example. Okay, these formulas are under the UAM. If you're going to use the free falling body, instead of using the acceleration, you're going to use the gravity, the acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Okay, the constant value for the gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared, 980 centimeter per second squared. But actually, this one is 9.81. 981. Then, under this English unit, you have 32.17174 feet per second squared. These are the constant value for the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, example. A ball was shot straight up from the ground. What must its initial velocity have been if it returned to Earth in 10 seconds. On the ground, at the maximum height, the tendency of the object is to go down. We have a ball was shot straight up from the ground. What must its initial velocity have been if it's returned to Earth? Okay, therefore, T at 10 seconds. Okay, dito, 10 seconds siya. Then S here is 0 na. And we have, okay, remember that the object is going upward. Therefore, we have S is equal to VOT plus 1/2. Again, since the object is going upward, we have the gravity 1/2 GT squared. And since the object is going upward, the sign of the gravity is negative. Therefore, we have S is equal to VOT plus 1/2 negative G T squared. Then, at T is equal to 10 seconds, and S here is 0. We have 0 is equal to VO 10 minus 1/2. The gravity is 9.8. Tapos, ang time natin is 10 squared. We have V sub O times 10 is equal to 9.8 divided by 2 times 10 squared. Okay, V sub O is equal to, okay, ano unit dapat? What would be the unit? Since I use 9.8, what is the unit?
Meter per second squared po.
Meter per second. Meter per second lang. It should be in meter per second. Pero if ever you're going to use yung feet per second, what would be our unit? What would be the value? Okay, V sub O. Since there's no given unit for the distance or the velocity, let us try also to find the initial velocity using feet per second. We have V sub O times 10. And instead of 9.8, we're going to use 32.17 divided by 2 times 10 squared. What is the value of your V sub O? What is the value of your V sub O? What is the value of your V sub O? 160.85. 160.85 feet per second. Questions?